The Rally Monte Carlo, traditionally the opening round of perhaps the greatest motorsport challenge on earth, the World Rally Championship. The glitz and glamour of the Principality of Monaco is in sharp contrast to the twisty tarmac roads of southern France, which host the action. Run over 3 days, each of the 14 rounds which make up the series are a stiff test of both the cars and the relationship between driver and co-driver. This year's Monte Carlo rally is the mildest for years. The uncharacteristically warm weather meant far less snow and ice than in previous years. This is the 70th running of the Monte, making it the oldest of all the rallies in the World Championship. This year there are just 15 stages in the mountains to the north and west of Monte Carlo, but each one of those would test man and machine to the limit, and sometimes beyond. The 2001 world champion Richard Burns knew his first rally for Peugeot wouldn't be easy.
I mean, we just have to be careful. There is some ice in the top and the hairpins, some ice and snow. Just have to go slowly there.
Burns was indeed taking it easy, but that didn't stop him finding the limits of his new car on the very first stage. His replacement at Subaru is the 4 times world champion Tommy Makkinen. Looking for a record 4th consecutive win on this event, Makkinen was one of 3 drivers to lead the rally on its first day. Fastest on the very first stage was Spain's Carlos Sainz, driven by Luis Moya. Power steering problems later on, however, caused a frustrated Sainz to drop to 5th place by the end of leg 1. Instead, it was Sainz's teammate Colin McRae who led the Ford team's challenge. Like Burns, McRae was another who'd need the services of Lady Luck during the day.
And 3 right, please.
The news from leg 1 wasn't confined to the crews, however. Huge crowds of spectators standing in dangerous positions caused the cancellation of the rally's second stage, leaving 4 to count. The day also claimed its fair share of retirements, Freddie Loix falling victim to stage 3. That bone-jarring collision with a bridge saw Loix taken to hospital to be checked over, while Armin Schwarz retired the other Hyundai 1 stage later. 2 of the 3 Citroëns didn't even reach the first stage. Both Thomas Rodstrom and Filip Bugalski suffered related engine failures on the road section. But at least the team had something to smile about. Fastest on 2 of those 4 stages was the 27-year-old Sebastian Loeb on only his second outing in the Zaro World Rally car. A stunning performance from Loeb and co-driver Daniel Elena meant the pair returned to Monte Carlo with a lead of 36.7 seconds over Tommy Makkinen, with Colin McRae in 3rd place. The top 6 were covered by a little over 1 minute and 10 seconds, with Richard Burns heading the pack chasing a point-scoring top 6 place.
The rally is not finished. It's 2 days to run, and it's very long, so you have to drive fast but not to make a mistake. That's not easy.
We try to push harder to get back this time what we lost in Sisteron.
This was just one of the hazards facing the crews on leg 2. The climb and descent over the infamous Col de Turini, tackled not once but twice. This is the kind of place which gives rally drivers nightmares.
You're taking on the Col de Turini twice today, perhaps not your favourite stage of the Monte Carlo rally for obvious reasons?
No, the last 2 years it hasn't been, so hopefully, 3rd year lucky.
Do you think you can push a bit harder today, make up a bit more time?
No, not really. We'll just keep going at the pace we've been going at, which is, it's near enough. The stages are a bit different today. We don't have any snow and ice.
6 stages make up leg 2, with the Col de Turini used on stages 9 and 11. The rally's longest day, in fact, would see a total of over 130 kilometres of flat-out driving. The day got underway at a little after 10 a.m. with stage 6, a 12-kilometre sprint to check the crews were awake. New for this season is the idea of reversing the running order for the top 15 each day. Gilles Panizzi and his co-driving brother Hervé were therefore among the first crews to tackle the day's opening stage. The pair was 7th fastest through the stage, cheered on by the local spectators. Another French duo were 8th quickest. Mitsubishi had changed the suspension setup on both their cars to a dry tarmac setting, which helped Francois Delacour and Daniel Grataloup to take over 2 seconds off the crew ahead of them. Richard Burns and Robert Reid had ended leg 1 in 7th place and planned to up the pace on leg 2.
60, right max, 30, medium left minus, long, in, 60, 90, left, long, 70, fast right, 70, flat right minus 20, fast left minus 40, medium right, to flat left 40, 60, fast right plus long, 50, easy right, minus 60, medium right, tightens maybe in, 30, flat left long, 70, hairpin right, 60, right max, 30, medium left minus, long, in, 60, 90, left, long, 70, fast right, 70, flat right minus 20, fast left minus 40, medium right, to flat left 40, flat right, 80, fast left plus in, to fast left plus 40, easy right minus long, 30, easy left plus long, to flat left 40, damp, K right plus, to K right plus, 70, K left minus long, slippy, 40, medium right, to medium right long, slippy, to slow medium left in, slippy maybe, to flat right, 80, flat right, damp, 50, K left plus slippy, tightens maybe, to easy right in, long, damp, 60, easy left 30, K right in, long, 50, flat left, 40, flat right, 80, slippy braking, easy right minus 10, slippy 90 left plus, to K left frost, go 80, damp from here, medium right plus 70, easy left plus 30, flat left slippy 70, K right long 30, then it's okay, flat left 80, easy right long 30, fast right plus long 40, medium left plus in long 30, flat right minus 70, braking slow medium right to medium right minus 50, 90 left plus.
After that opening stage, however, the gap between the Peugeot and the car in 6th place had grown to over 50 seconds. That car was the Subaru Impreza of Peter Solberg and Phil Mills, who set the fastest time, their 2nd stage victory of the event.
40, one right minus tightens into slippy hairpin, left tightens. Slippy don't catch, one right, into one left minus, opens 30, very late one right, dry, opens 40, 3 right plus keep in into 1 left, half long tightens, into 3 right, opens flat, 100, 6 right plus into narrow, 2 left minus, tightens keep in.
In all, Subarus had won 3 of the 5 stages run so far. Ford, on the other hand, had won just the one, the opening stage yesterday. After that win, Carlos Sainz had dropped to 5th place overall and was nearly 9 seconds off the pace on stage 6.
Driver rated our Subaru WRX.
3rd Third fastest was Sainz's colleague Colin McRae. Despite the prediction that there'd be less snow and ice today, there seemed to be still plenty lurking in the shadows, so a cautious approach was still a good idea.
50. 3 right plus tightens. 30. 5 right minus. 3 left plus. Into gear 3 right tightens. Don't count. Into 6 left. And 6 right 30.
Ahead of McRae, both on the stage and on the leaderboard, was the Subaru of Tommy Makkinen and his stand-in co-driver Kai Lindstrom, deputising for the recovering Risto Männisen-Mäki.
Jako oikee 2. Ja Kostee lyhyt oikee nopee. K vasen ja pitkä K oikee. Pitkä vasen eri.
Their partnership looked to be working well, however. They were still in second place and had taken a second off the leader in that short stage.
Hae vähän pitkä K oikee ja pirun pitkä K vasen. Ja K oikee plus aukee, huomio 4 pitkä oikee nopea plus. 2 pitkä paha vasen. Ja K oikee 2. Lyhyt vasen oikee nopea plus aukee, pari jyvää. Jatkuu oikee heti pitkä K vasen plus aukee heti. Oikee täys 7. Vasen eri plus sumppu vähän kostee ja pitkä oikee eri. Ja jatkuu kosteena. Ja lyhyt oikee nopea plus helppo. Pitkä K vasen 3 huomio. Pitkä oikee nopea edelleen kosteita. Heti pitkä vasen nopea plus aukee vähän. Ja kostee lyhyt oikee nopea. K vasen ja pitkä K oikee. Pitkä vasen eri. Lyhyt helppo oikee 45 oikee nopea plus aukee heti. Kostee loppu. Jatkuu nyppy pirun pitkä oikee nopea miinus. Ja nyppy 2 ja pirun pitkä K vasen miinus alas sumppu. Heti lyhyt oikeeri plus aukee 5. Lyhyt oikeeri helppo jatkuu. Lyhyt K oikee plus 10. Pitkä vasen nopea sisältä kapea oikasen. Ja lyhyt helppo oikee 100. Vasen heti lyhyt oikee nopea sumppu. Ja vasen ja lyhyt oikee nopea plus helppo aukee. Jatkuu oikee nopea plus. Ja K vasen miinus. Ja oikee 3 paha vasen. Vasen 3, lyhyt oikee nopea, aukee, varo ulko, 5. Pitkä K oikee miinus, helppo alku, kirraa paha suppu. 4, serpo vasen, vähän paskaa, kapenee lopussa. Heti pitkä oikee nopea, aukee vähän.
The man who'd shaken the rally establishment with his second place in Italy last year, Sebastian Loeb, couldn't begin leg 2 with a stage victory, but he seemed happy enough. Fourth quickest was a respectable start to the day, and he still led the rally by over 35 seconds. Loeb might have been giving his fans plenty to celebrate, but the likes of Makkinen and McRae weren't so pleased with the youngsters' performance. Confirmation then of how things stood after stage 6. The overall positions hadn't changed, but Solberg was now threatening Sainz for 5th place, while Delacour was now less than 7.5 seconds behind Burns, and his Mitsubishi teammate Alistair McRae was closing on 11th placed Roman Cresta.
First,
The road section between stages 6 and 7 gave the crews a chance to check tyre pressures, while the hardy spectators were concentrating just on staying warm. Thanks to Virtual Spectator, this is a satellite eye view of stage 7, a rerun of the 26.7 kilometre ribbon of tarmac, which made up the final stage of leg 1. On that occasion, Loeb scorched through the test, a full 17 seconds clear of the pack. But could he repeat that performance in daylight? Alistair McRae had other things on his mind, like snatching 11th place from Roman Cresta.
Straight 30, caution braking, left tightens to K. And easy right tightens. And care, medium left tightens in and K right minus. 30. K left plus, tighten slight, into K left plus, and medium right, and flat left, and right tires to K minus, care, don't cut, and K left minus, and long K right, surface, damp continues. Straight 30, care, K left minus, tightens in, don't cut, and K right minus, still damp, straight 30, medium left minus, and care, K left plus, tightens in, and medium right minus, tightens, and K left plus, tightens, okay, medium K left plus, tightens, and long K right plus, tightens, and K left plus, into right tightens, and K left plus, and caution, K left minus, tightens in, don't cut, and flat right and left, don't cut, clear, 30 medium right minus, tightens, slide, and medium right and minus, and medium left, 50, braking right, K left tightens in, care, don't cut, into, medium right and don't cut, 30, left tightens to medium and opens, 70, care, left tightens long to medium plus, don't cut, into, right tightens to narrow medium, care, don't cut, 30, flat left, 50, medium right, don't cut, and medium left tightens in, 30, care, K right plus, tightens, don't cut, and K left, open slide, care, tightens to minus in, into, long K right minus, don't cut, into, K left plus, opens long and tightens slide.
As it turned out, the Scot would have moved up a place by the end of the stage, but the reason was nothing to do with his pace. Instead, an astonishing accident ended Cresta's run. This amazing shot shows just how lucky Cresta and his co-driver Jan Tomanek had been. Only that telegraph pole is preventing their Octavia from plunging down the hillside. Stage 7, though, would also end in tears for others. This is Harry Rovanpera's Peugeot 206, shortly before a collision with something solid ended his rally, forcing his retirement from 9th place.
I hit some small stone inside the corva and an main armrest bolts broken in a welding, and rims and tires is okay.
Another Peugeot driver, meanwhile, was more fortunate.
Damp from here, 20, K left in.
Richard Burns moved into the top 6, thanks to a small error by his former teammate Petter Solberg.
6 left plus over bridge, 60, half 2 left tightens, 40, 1 right minus, opens, 30, line into 2 left, opens, 40, line into short 3 left, 120, frost maybe 4 left plus, half long, 40, line into don't cut 2 right plus, opens, 50, 1 left plus, tightens, keep in, 30, half 2 right, opens, 30, 2 left, tightens, keep in, 20, short 1 right plus, stone out, narrow 4 left minus, tightens, gravel ruts, 2 right minus, tightens, cut an end, 2 left minus, slippy maybe, opens,
The calming voice of Phil Mills helped Solberg concentrate on reaching the end of the stage.
Right, just think about it now. Wipers off.
The wipers, however, weren't the only things off. The Subaru mechanics would have some work to do.
The FIA World Rally Championship, presented by Subaru, the beauty of all-wheel drive.
Carlos Sainz, too, fell foul of the French scenery. In Sainz's case, it was the rear of the car which bore the brunt of the damage. Our helicopter caught the moment when the rear bumper finally gave up the job of hanging on. Fifth fastest on the stage were Colin McRae and Nicky Grist, but their Ford Focus had slipped to 4th place.
Damp continues. Slow 3 right tightens, damp continues. Into 3 right tightens. And 4 left line. And 4 left into slow 3 left tightens, don't cut. Into slow 3 right, rock outside, damp exit. Into right and 2 left, opens to long 6. 50. 4 right plus tightens, don't cut. And care left tightens, and now's the 3 plus, don't cut. 30, 4 right minus opens, into 6 right, don't cut, into slow 3 left opens and tightens. And very long 3 right plus, into right tightens, the 3 plus, don't cut, into 3 left plus tightens, line, and care right tightens and narrows to 3, don't cut. And left and 6 right, and 6 left into right, and 3 left tightens, don't cut. And long right tightens to 3, rock outside. Into 5 right minus, and long left tightens to slow 3. 30, right tightens to 2 plus. And left tightens to 3 plus. Into 3 right, tightens, don't cut. 50, long right tightens to 3 plus, and left tightens to 4, 30, 3 right narrows, and 3 left, 50, 4 left plus tightens, and 3 right minus tightens, into long left tightens to 4, into 4 right minus, don't cut, and long left tightens to 3 plus, and 2 right plus, and slow 3 left, don't cut, 30, right and right tightens to 2, don't cut.
McRae isn't a fan of the Monte Carlo rally. A finish would be a welcome change after failing to score points here for 5 of the last 6 years. The reason for McRae dropping a place was a storming drive from Marcus Gronholm. Second fastest on the stage, the 2000 world champion had moved up into 3rd place.
Oikein hidas kiviä sisällä. Vaseri miinus. 7. Vasemmalle 3 ja oikein hidas suppu. 7. Ja vasen pitkä nopee. 7. Ja vasen nopee suppuu. 5. Ja vaseri miinus. 4 ja oikein hidas kiviä sisällä. 5 ja vasen pitkä hidas. 4 ja oikein hidas suppu. Vasen pitkä nopee ja oikein pitkä nopee. Jatku oikein nopee suppuu ja vaseri miinus. 5 ja oikein nopee. Ja vaseri helppo, betoni ulkona. 100. Vaseri miinus, paha suppu. Ja vaseri miinus. 5 ja oikein nopee. 9 ja vasen nopee. Toista vasen nopee. 7. Vaseri jouhee suppuu. 8. Vasen eri kivet ulkona. 7. Ja oikein nopea kivi sisällä. Ja vasen tosi hidas pitkä. Oikein piru pitkä eri kirraa. Ja vasen pitkä nopea kirraa suppuu. Ja oikein nopea. 7. Ja oikealle vasen nopea suppuu. 4. Oikein nopea ja vasen pitkä nopea kirraa. Ja oikein helppo. 7. Oikein eri suppuu. 5. Ja oikealle 3 oikein nopea. 5. Ja vaseri miinus ja oikein eri.
Tommy Makkinen, 3rd quickest, was now just 10.3 seconds ahead of Gronholm, and it was starting to look as though we were in for a real scrap between the two Finns.
Vasen täys 6, oikein täys miinus 120. Ja vasen ja pitkä oikein nopea varo kapee. Heti pitkä paha vasen. ja liukas pirupitkä oikein nopea miinus.
But while the Finns scrapped for second, it was business as usual at the head of the leaderboard. Sebastian Loeb again set the fastest time, and how's that for style? Loeb's third stage win from 6 extended his lead to exactly 46 seconds. To give you some idea of his pace in the darkness last night, incidentally, he was only 14 seconds faster in the daylight over the 26.7 kilometres. The former gymnast has astonished many with his cool, calm approach to the business of driving against and beating the best in the world. This, surely, is a champion of the future.
Well, we just decided to go in a very soft compound, and in the last part of the second stage it was quite dry and hot. Car was moving a bit with the tire and came around one man, hit the back.
I think I had too much information in my pace notes, so I couldn't get everything into my head, and it was too much gravel there. And then I just came out of line, and obviously Carlos did the same thing on the same place, so but I'm lucky to be here, so we try again.
Colin, you've traded places with Marcus Gronholm. What happened on those last 2 stages?
Nothing with a good run. Just been very careful on the damp places. Marcus had a good time on the last stage and he got in front of us.
Tommy, in the top 3 on the first 2 stages of the day, are you worried about Loeb pulling away a bit more?
So, we'll see. We take a different tire choice now, and I think there is still some hope with us. We made some mistakes.
Often seen as the unsung heroes of rally, a co-driver's principal role is navigation via pace notes. This, however, is only half the job.
I think fear is probably a co-driver's biggest enemy, because if you're scared, then you can't do your job properly.
Co-driving is a very fine art. You certainly have to have a great nerve, and I would say it's probably the biggest adrenaline rush that you ever wish to have.
60, easy left, tightens maybe. 60, fast left minus tightens maybe. 50, medium right minus.
You ever thought that maybe the co-driver's in control of the driver?
Carlos, si no pude joderlo, pero grítame, pero si no me dio tiempo a avisarte, me pongo seguro.
What we tell to the driver is not how fast he should go in the corner. We describe the bend as we have it on the pace notes. Of course, he chooses the speed. He knows the speed he has to do. If I make a mistake in the pace notes, we go off the road. If the driver makes a mistake driving, we will also go off the road. So it's a work of two. But I think at the end of the day, it's due to the driver to decide the speed, and the driver is the one who's going to win the rally and to win the stages.
I'm telling him what gear he should use. I'm telling him what his braking points are. I'm telling him which position to push the throttle. So, okay, he's got the steering wheel and he's got the throttle, but I'm the guy who's in control.
Listen, just keep your patience.
It's the ultimate trust. If I'm telling him to go over a crest in 6 gear, you know, there is an unwritten trust there.
Shall you try to go and sit on the back just to see?
I'm trusting him that he's not going to throw me off the side of a mountain, and he's trusting me I'm not going to tell him to turn off the side of a mountain. And that's how it works.
The relationship between the two is unique in sport. Over the 3 days of a rally, they put their lives in the hands of the person sitting next to them.
Okay. Anyway, well done. Well done. Well done, pal.
And now, just like we did yesterday, let's ride with the drivers of the World Rally Championship.
Slow 4 right over crest, slippy maybe. In 2 left and 3 right plus opens. And 6 left tightens. and 6 right, cut 30.
8 left, bridge, damp. 70. Right onto the medium liner. 50. Flat right, 30. Flat right, 50. Braking flat right to small crest and medium left flat open. Small cut, 120. Narrows into village. Care braking medium left flat on a small crest and medium right. Care slippy. Slippy on the medium right. And tail left tight 6. Into medium right. Open. And medium right plus open. 70.
Droite 90 long, presque plus. Gauche 90. Non, droite à fond. Gauche à fond. 100 mètres. Gauche 95 au cours. Et bien droite 90 plus. Non, gauche 90. 100 mètres, droite à fond. 100 mètres, et break de gauche. Droite à fond, 100 mètres, et break de gauche. 100 mètres, gauche à fond. 100 mètres, droite à fond.
Heti pitkä vasen nopea plus aukee vähän. Ja Kostee lyhyt oikee nopea, K vasen ja pitkä K oikee. Ja pitkä vasen eri, lyhyt helppo oikee, 45 oikee nopea plus aukee heti. Kostee loppu, jatkuu nyppy, pirun pitkä oikee nopea miinus. Ja nyppy, ja pirun pitkä K vasen miinus alas, sumppu. Heti lyhyt oikeeri plus aukee 5, lyhyt oikeeri helppo jatkuu, lyhyt K oikee plus 10, pitkä vasen nopea sisältä kapea oikase.
Right max 100 braking, easy left plus and cut, damp, tightens maybe, to crest, 18 damp, right max in 30 flat left and in tightens, 60 long crest, ice maybe, bumpy to slight left, 50 crest braking, 70 flat left and slippy, 20 fast right, slippy.
200 mètres sec. Gauche 120 bon long corde, pas faussé. Gauche 120 bon long corde, pas faussé. 50 mètres. C'est entrée léger droite, pleine corde. Plus gauche à fond, bref corde. Et droite à fond, pleine corde. Plus gauche 125. Droite 120, mi-corde à fond. 150 mètres, gauche 115. Dans la 95, bon corde.
8 ja oikealla vaseri jouhee yli nypyn urat lopussa. 5. Ja nypy vaseri jouhee yli nypyn. 200. Talot vasemmalle ja oikein nopea jäälaikku. 2 ja vasen pitkä hidas kirraa. 5 ja oikein eri leikkaa. Jatku oikein eri tiukka leikkaa. 100. Oikein eri leikkaa ahdas. 5.
We'll be right back with more from the 2002 Monte Carlo Rally. Stages 8 and 9 would be rerun as 10 and 11, which meant the spectators could afford to make themselves comfortable. Stage 8 was a 23-kilometre affair, which began in a valley, skirted a mountain before crossing the summit, and then tracked along another valley to the finish. Hairpin bends were very much the order of the day, as 13th placed Marco Martin discovered, as he and co-driver Michael Park headed up the mountain. The pair was 7th quickest on the stage, their confidence in their new team and car growing with every corner it seemed. Roman Cresta had shown that the big Skodas could be made to fly through the twisty stages, and it was now down to Tony Gardemeister to head the team's challenge. The Finn, though, slipped from 9th to 10th. Delacour, like Martin and Gardemeister, was on his first rally for a new team. The Frenchman was still 7th, but lost 24 seconds to 8th-placed Solberg on stage 8. Yet another new boy was Richard Burns, still 6th and edging out another 7 seconds from Delacour. The Peugeot was still over a minute adrift of 5th place, though. Solberg must have been kicking himself for that mistake on stage 7, but the car had received some tender loving care from the Subaru mechanics, and so the Norwegian could afford to push once again. fastest on the stage, Solberg and Mills now have Delacour's Mitsubishi in their sights. Less than 16 seconds the gap. Carlos Sainz and Luis Moya headed up the hill on their way to setting the third fastest time. The pair was still fifth, although the gap from third to fifth was only 30 seconds, and so a podium place was still very much a possibility. Let's see the stages through the eyes of Carlos Sainz. In that third place was now Sainz's teammate, Colin McRae.
And right items, still 3 plus over bridge. And 3 right minus. And 4 left plus tight. Into 3 left plus tightens. And right items to 2 plus. And 4 left minus open.
Fourth fastest on the stage, the 1995 world champion had squeezed past Marcus Gronholm, but any thoughts of grabbing second were dashed when Tommy Makkinen's time was radioed through.
Lyhyt Kuovasen sumppu heti pitkä oikein nopea plus sillalle alkukosteen.
Makkinen and Kai Lindstrom flew through stage 8, 6.3 seconds faster than anyone else.
15 pitkä oikein nopea plus helppo. 10 lyhyt Kuovasen plus jatkuu. Kuovasen plus 15 pitkä oikein nopea.
Rally leader Sebastian Loeb was second fastest, but the gap between first and second was now less than 40 seconds once again, and Makkinen's intention not to give up without a fight was clear. The loyal spectators, however, only had eyes for their new hero. And so to stage 9. The first of 2 runs up to the summit of the Col de Turini and then down the other side again. On paper, or even on the virtual spectator simulation, the 23.4 kilometres don't look that extraordinary, but the Turini is about passion, about history, and most of all about respecting one of rallying's most sacred of places. Gilles Panizzi, it seemed, lacked a little of that respect at times. His new team leader was just under 2 seconds slower through the stage. Considering Richard Burns is still learning the car, that was an extremely promising performance. Although the extremely disrespectful Petter Solberg was a full 19 seconds faster.
60, short 4 left, line into 6 right long over Cresta, tighten short 5, don't cut. 60, line into 1 left plus tightens.
Without his earlier misdemeanor, Solberg would have been battling with the likes of McRae and Gronholm. But as it was, the Subaru driver was still looking at a top 6 place. 13 seconds now split Solberg and Burns, with 5th placed Carlos Sainz a long way clear. Sainz knows the Col de Turini only too well and was content with setting the 4th fastest time to consolidate his 5th place overall. Gronholm was still 4th, but again a few seconds were lost to the man behind him, Sainz. Things are already starting to look very interesting for tomorrow.
Oikein nopea. 3 ja oikein hidas takavino. 4. Vasen nopea
We'll be right back with more from the 2002 Monte Carlo Rally. Welcome back to the 2002 Rally Monte Carlo. Let's ride on board again, this time with Colin McRae.
And 6 left and long 2 right plus line. 30, left tightens to long 4, opens. 50, slow 3 right, opens. Into slow 3 right tightens, damp. And 6 left. And long 6 right minus damp into long 2 left plus opens. 30, 3 left plus line and right tightens to 2 plus damp exit into 3 left line damp and 6 right and slow 3 right tightens into 4 left minus opens.
But the Col de Turini held its surprises for the man it's tormented for so many years. This time, unbelievably, a seat mounting broke, causing Colin McRae to try and support himself using the steering wheel. Not surprisingly, that only worked for so long. That most public of spins right on the top of the Col contributed to McRae only setting the 8th fastest time.
Into 5 right plus.
For the second stage in a row, it was the Subaru of Makkinen which set the fastest time. Slowly but surely, it seemed, the veteran was closing the gap on the youngster, applying mounting pressure in time for the final day. Loeb was 3rd fastest, behind both the Imprezas and losing nearly 13 seconds to Makkinen. It hardly seemed to bother him, though. This is a man with confidence in abundance.
Were you pushing very hard on the Col de Turini, or were you starting to back off a bit?
I was not pushing maximum, but I was driving fast, and I think the conditions here are very difficult for us with a tire.
So in many ways you're waiting for tomorrow to attack?
Yes, tomorrow is still even more difficult because stages they are longer. Turini is very, very long stage and very fast downhill, which is always very difficult. I'm pretty confident.
No problems. I was going a little bit too slowly on these 2 stages because it was so difficult and slippery.
The seat broke on the stage before on the bumps. One of the bolts came out the rear and broke the seat, so the seat was moving around. And you've got no fuel. Every time you push the brakes and turn, the seat was dropping down in the back, so it wasn't a very nice feeling. And then we had a spin on top and the Col in Turini.
Already in the night it's difficult to see. In places much more crest appears than on the daylight, and the lights is an important part for sure.
At service in Monte Carlo, lights are fitted to the cars, and like everything on a rally car, they're state-of-the-art technology.
Well, first of all, we run the 6 auxiliary lamps on the car, and they're not your normal just halogen bulbs. They're a gas discharge unit. It actually takes half the current to actually run it, so half the current is obviously less strain on the engine, which obviously means more horsepower.
But horsepower means nothing if your lights don't work, as Carlos Sainz discovered in 1995.
The moment when everything switch off until you stop, it was a little bit of a moment, and at that time we were leading the rally and luckily nothing happened.
The Col de Turini is a magical place at night, but not, it seems, if your surname is McRae.
Turn, medium left plus tightens right and narrows, slippy, into, flat right, S, flat left, left.
His older brother had escaped unscathed after he spun in exactly the same place earlier in the day, but Alistair wasn't so lucky. Over 4 minutes were lost, and the Mitsubishi limped out of the stage. On board with Colin, and all appears well.
Into 6 right, 30. 6 left, 30.
But a sick-sounding engine confirms that once again, the Turini curse has struck. With the Ford Focus dropping to 5th, Makkinen Subaru set the fastest time through the darkness. Loeb had been quickest on the previous stage, however, so the gap between the pair was now over 28 seconds. To the delight of the tens of thousands at the top of the col, their hero still led, while delight was hardly the word to describe Colin McRae's mood.
I reckon that's our rally over.
So it's not lost.
I don't know exactly what's happened, but the engine felt like it went on 3 cylinders and lost a lot of power. So nothing we could do. I mean, I thought that was it all over, but it managed to get here, so hopefully the guys can sort it.
2 days down, 1 to go. 28.2 seconds, the gap between first and second now, but McRae had swapped places with Sainz and wasn't even sure he'd start day 3. Solberg, meanwhile, had snatched 6th place back from Burns once again, and Gilles Panizzi in the other factory 206 was now threatening his new team leader. Monte Carlo is a fascinating place, but when the rally's in town, the bars and nightclubs come alive. The best idea when you're looking for a place to go, like anywhere else in the world, is to ask a local.
I like this city in the night.
It's a good place. There's lots of nice wee bars, the Café de Paris and all these type of places, and Casino Square.
Go into Stars and Bars and have some beers.
A lot of possibility to pass a good night.
But there was also controversy in the darkness this year. Citroën placed Loeb's car into the overnight halt on fresh tyres, despite regulations forbidding a change at that point. The event stewards took a dim view, imposing a 2-minute penalty, which was then suspended after his team appealed.
You must be very disappointed.
No, I think if I can win the rally, I will make it, and for me, I will have win it. After that, they make what they want.
You know that
After reruns of those 2 last stages, this is how things stand at the end of leg 2. Loeb's lead over Makkinen is less than 30 seconds, but McRae and Sainz swapped places after stage 11. So, are we looking at a sensational victory for Loeb on the Monte Carlo rally? Join us tomorrow for highlights of the 3rd and final day to find out.